This middle-aged mom, when she goes out, never holds a grudge, because as soon as she has one, she addresses it on the spot. One day her pretty daughter is bothered by a thug. What he didn't know was that the girl inherited her mother's excellent genes. Without saying a word, she gives the thug a tennis racket blow. One hit to make him understand, and another if necessary, until he's had enough. Even if the passers-by were stunned by the scene, it was just a normal day for the girl, because her father is even more formidable than she is. That day, the father notices that the water in the house has become cloudy. He immediately calls a plumber, who promises to arrive in 5 minutes, but only shows up an hour later. But to his great surprise, the plumber shows no sign of embarrassment for his lateness, and claims that all the pipes in the house need to be changed. The father quickly understands that this man is trying to scam him, so without wasting any time, he takes out a baseball bat and sends him straight to the hospital. Although the plumber underwent 18 fractures, he is not in danger. After some investigation, he discovers that the murky water comes from the discharges of a nearby fertilizer factory. Without hesitate, he goes to see the factory owner to discuss it, but the latter, far from being worried, simply advises him to buy bottled water if he finds the water dirty. This comment will cost him dearly. An hour later, the father drags the owner to an isolated place. Rather than attacking him, he asks him how to prevent the water from becoming cloudy. Upon learning that it is enough to close the factory's discharge valve, the father goes directly to the factory, but he is not there to close the valve. He places a time bomb there. Clearly, no one can afford to upset this family. The elderly man is barbecuing with a very serious demeanor, but his neighbor complains that his meat is disgusting. Upon hearing this, the old man instantly gets angry. Without saying a word, he slams the neighbor onto the grill, pours liquid over his face, then stuffs charcoal into his mouth. Fortunately, this last situation was a product of his imagination. But if it had happened 30 years ago, the neighbor would have experienced much worse, because at the time, this old man was the number 2 in a gang. Thanks to his unique lifestyle, he quickly gained the favor of several henchmen. The gang leader, feeling threatened, decided to have him eliminated. Fearing retaliation after the leader's release, he was forced to move regularly with his family to different parts of the world. One day, his son is doing his homework and inadvertently writes a sentence that the gang leader had said at their home when he was a child. This little sentence ends up in the school newspaper, with unexpected consequences. When the cleaning crew picked up the newspapers to put them in a trash bag, this waste quickly got sent to a recycling center. A worker who was reading a novel during his work was reprimanded by his boss. In the rush, he hid his novel under this newspaper. By an incredible coincidence, this newspaper ended up being taken to a rental house. Without to know, one of the roommates used the newspaper to wrap a regional product that he took back to his hometown. The person who opened this product was none other than the former gang leader, who had been imprisoned years ago. Upon seeing this phrase printed in the newspaper, the gang leader immediately understood that his former right-hand man was still alive. He then organized a team of killers to take revenge on him. Meanwhile, the boy was summoned to the school principal's office. However, he was not intimidated and calmly asked to see a lawyer. But when night came, he quietly packed his things and left the house to prevent his family from being exposed to the gang's danger because of him. Hardly had he arrived at the station when he noticed a group of men in black with threatening looks getting off the train. Trying to avoid a high-needy tragedy, the boy tried to warn his father by phone, but no one answered at home. Soon after, these killers went directly to the local police station, where they neutralized all the officers on duty. Then, they headed to the fire station and destroyed all the emergency vehicles. Hearing the family's dog barking non-stop, the father immediately understood that something was wrong. At that moment, the killers took a rocket launcher and aimed it at the house. In an instant, the house was destroyed by a massive explosion. As the killers were about to search the house for bodies, gunfire suddenly erupted behind them. It was the eldest daughter who had jumped from the roof and was attacking the killers from behind. At that moment, one of the killers suddenly charged at the sister, and just before he could kill her, the brother shot him dead. One last killer appeared by surprise. The sister then drew his attention and ran away, taking advantage of the ground to knock him against a car. Meanwhile, inside the house, the parents had already taken out the other killers together. At the end of the story, the family of 4 had to hit the road again to flee. They knew that as long as the gang leader was not dead, each day could well be their last. This movie teaches us that we never know if tomorrow or the unexpected will arrive in. First, living fully each day of your life is the greatest gratitude one can have towards life. That's all for this recap. Share your thoughts in the comments.